Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Welcome, my dear students, to OOP course. Today we continue with conditional, with the control flow statements. So far we have covered a lot of topics on that, starting from variables, then this type of these variables or data types, string interpolation, type inference annotations. They moved to chapter 3, which was about operators on that. After operators, we worked on dots. You learned about the dots collection, the 3 times that you can use them to store your data on the program data. After that, we start lately working on control flow statements. For last week, we covered the first 2 parts, if statement and else if and the ternary operator and for loops were covered last week. This week we are going to continue with while loop. Then after while loop we have do while and the break continue. Then lastly we have switch case. And the chapter will be finished by solving this, by introducing the session also, and then moving to the chapter quiz or chapter exercise to solve it. Next week we are going to work on chapter 6, exploring function, and after next week we are going to work on last chapter, which was the OOP and the classes. Then the course will be finished, and we can start, maybe if we got time, start with that, which will be our main focus for next semester, OOP 2. So let us start with the while for today, our today lecture, to see how it works. So this is the while loop. So while can be used in English as a conjunction indicating the occurrence of one event while another one is in a place. For instance, you can say, I am reading a book while my sister is getting ready. This sentence is indicating that the event reading a book will continue to take place as long as the event sister is getting ready, is in a place. So while loop in that behaves the same way. One event is a condition and the other event is a body of code to be executed. The body of code will be executed repeatedly again and again as long as the condition is fulfilled or is true. So while this condition, for example, this initial statement for the while to work, while the condition is true, it's fulfilled, the code will be executed until the condition becomes false. For example, while condition, it will exit the code. The syntax of while, and there's a condition between parentheses, and after that, the conditional code or code to be executed while the condition is true. So it's similar to the other languages that you have learned before. If the condition must be an expression of type Boolean, so the while can work with it. If the condition is true, the condition will execute. If the condition is false, simply the compiler will just exit the code. So here in this example, while we have variable called count equal 1, while count, which is 1, less than or equal 10, continue or begin, execute this code, print the count, which is how much at the beginning. For example, it is 1, it will print 1. Then count equal plus equal 1 means count plus plus, and increase it by 1. It will become, for example, 2 here. The next time count is 2 is less than 10, which is correct, true. It will print the 2, then make it 3 again until it becomes, for example, 11. 11 is not less or equal to 10, which is false. It will stop running the code. So from 1 to 10 will be the output. We can copy this code as you know, to our dot part. We have the main function. Just click on format to see how it works. You will get, as you said, initial value 1 up to 10. If we make it less than 10, for example, it will become last value will become 9. If you want to print from 1 to 9, you can make it less than 10, and that's it. Okay, let me use maybe IntelliJ if it's faster. Maybe this one is sometimes related to the internet. Maybe it needs a lot of time. For running, let us use IntelliJ also to make it easy for you to do your project. Okay, because you are required to use your project for doing exercise. Okay, I'll just shift to use IntelliJ instead of using Data to make it easier for you to become familiar with the IntelliJ. I'm just waiting for IntelliJ to start. Once it starts, we can create our project and start with it. Okay, let's see. Still, it's loading the IntelliJ. So here the variable count is acting as our loop control variable, which is initialized with the value 1, and while its value remains less than or equal to 10, it will continue executing this code between the curly braces. So this is regarding the while. The do while, it has a difference. Let me just, I'm still waiting for this IntelliJ. I don't know what's happening, why it's very slow. Usually it will not be like this. It will be a lot of, like, it will be faster a lot than this. All right, now it started. So you create, this is IntelliJ, main UI. We create a new project. And this is how you are going to use it for your project again. You have to install a Dart on your IntelliJ. We already did this one in the beginning of the course. If you don't know, just go and when you first started, maybe if you don't have this one, the Dart you can install it from by going, for example, cancel it and going to the configure, and we have the plugins, I guess. Plugins. From there, you can just install, type Dart, and take it and okay, install it on your PC to be able to use it. After you finish this one, you can now start creating your project and working with it. So I choose that. Generate sample code. You can use this simple application, simple command line. Why not? It will create for you the file that you will write the code. If not, you will create by yourself. I'll just generate sample content. Okay, this is the location. It means at the end you will send me maybe this. This is the .sdk folder. Okay, this is a simple application. Okay, keep it simple console application, and then this is the one project location that you will send to me. For example, I will call it, for example, conditional control or control statements. So you can send me this folder after you finish as your project. It is stored in this position. Just make it as a zip or raw file and send it to me. Finish. So now I already copied, as you know, I already copied the code snippet for while. I will copy again just to show you how it works. Copy it, Control C. Then we go here, close. Okay. It is still building the project. If it's finished, let us go and check. Control bin control statement dot. We have it now. It has only now hello world. We can make it, for example, I will Control A, delete. I will print whatever that we have. If you want to make it formatted, we have to go to code and format, reformat code with that format. Okay, then now maybe you are saying it's not working or whatever. You can just add configuration. Click on for the first time only. Click on the plus, adding the configuration. Choose that command line application. Then choose the .dart file that you want to run now. For example, I will just search by name. I have only one file to run, which has the main function. Okay, that's it. Run it. So now the result come. As you can see now, the result from 1 to 10, you can get it. So the way is very simple of using IntelliJ to create your projects. Maybe you say, I want to create more .dart files for other classes or other codes. Right-click on bin folder. Then you have the new .dart file, the new .dart file to create a new file if you need to write your code in different files. For example, I will just call for text, it's ABCD. Okay, then maybe I have some code I want to use it, an ABCD in control statement in the main file, that file. So I can just write later import the ABCD, so I can use its code, the public functions, import ABCD, I import it now. So now you can use the ABCD file if you have some code inside it in this file if you need it. If you don't need to import it, or you will not create another file, just delete that one. But probably you have to use it because we are going to work on OOP later, so you will need to write a lot of codes. So let's just go next. Okay. This is while. So while the condition is true, keep doing that. So the difference between while and do while here is what? While will never, if the condition is false from the beginning, it will never run the code. Never run the code. But in do while, it will implement the code, then check the while. If the condition is false, it will stop running the code. If the condition is true, it will continue implementing the do statement, the code here, in the do statement or do block of code. So at least the code will be implemented one time. If we look at here, this is maybe an example with a while. So here, in this case, the while always 1 is not equal to 1, which is false. Print using while and the value of this variable, which is 1. So the print statement is not going to work because the condition is false. And nothing happened will be printed only because it's outside of the loop or while loop. If we take a look on it, what I'm saying, copy and paste it here. Then code, reformat it with that format, run it. You will get nothing happens because the condition is false for the while statement. All right, this is the result, expected result. If we make it equal 1, maybe the program will crash or it will keep running forever, running the printing 1 forever, because the condition will be always on, always true. It will keep, as you can see, it will never stop. It will keep forever, so we can stop running the program. Okay, I stopped it. All right, this is while if the condition is false, nothing will be run. As you can see, there is no any printing will happen if the condition is false. Let us see do while. Do while, we said it will implement the code one time at least because the do will start working before the while, checking the condition. If the condition is false, it will stop. So I use the same example but this time with what? With the do statement. Okay, code that reformat with that format. So while the condition always 1 is not equal to 1, which is equal to 1, while the condition is false, continue printing, running the do. But the problem is the code is starting from top to bottom. It means the do will work before checking the while. So if your code, if you want to use to find a way where you will run your code at least one time, you have to use do while. if you have a scenario which requires that the code should not be started only if the condition is true, you can use the while statement. So as you can see, using do while one will be printed one time, but because of the condition is false, it will not continue running the code, executing the code. Infinity loop, you can just write as I did before while. If you make it equal 1, it will keep printing the always one okay on the screen. Challenges, we have solved these challenges on your lab sessions. I'm not going to repeat them again. The break statement. So the break statement is used for prematurely stopping the loop. When that finds a break statement, it breaks from the loop, and regardless whether the iteration has been completed or not. It's mostly used with conditional statements. Based on the condition, the loop will either need to exit or not. So let's take an example. We have an integer list of integers for variable I in this is the for in loop in for var I iterator in integer list. If I mod 2 equals 0, if this number is even, I or these numbers are even, 1 by 1, print that number and break. So first time we have 7. 7 is even number? No, it's not even number. So this if a block will not going to be working. If a block, let us say this code, because from the start to end, this one is not going to be work. It will just move again. It will just ignore if statement and go again for the second iteration. The 3. 3 is it even number? No, it will keep again for the other iteration. And 9, it is not a 6. Yes, it is. So it will print a 6 and it will break. A break, it means it will stop the whole loop. And that's it. Only 6 will be printed. So let us check it now on our IntelliJ. Control V, and we have that. Okay. Run it, only number 6 will be printed on the screen. Now I want you, for example, now it's your turn to, as you can see, number 6. For you as an exercise, try the same example to copy and paste or to type it, and to make it only printing I want to maybe to print only the first odd number and stop the loop. So this is an exercise for you, okay? Try to do it on your side. Just to print the first odd number, which is maybe here 7, and stop. Like this question might come to exam in different ways, so try to practice with them. The continue statement is used to skip the running iteration and move on to the next one, regardless of there are still lines of code to be executed or not. So imagine you are responsible for hiring a new employee for your company. The employee should has 5 years of experience or more. You go over the list of candidates. The candidates with less than 5 years of experience are skipped, while candidates with more than 5 years of experience will be called for the interview. This is the logic for your program. We will start storing the experience of our candidates, like here in a list. The first candidate has like index 0, the other one index 1, and so on. Let's write some code which will be able to find for us those candidates. So copy, paste it, then code reformat it. And before we run, let us just understand the example. So these are people that are going to apply for the job, which are maybe 6 people. Their indexes in the list started from index 0 until 5. So for var I equals 0, we will start I from 0, first index, until last one, which is 5. When we say experience, which is a list dot length, the size, which is 6. So experience dot length will give you a size of this list, which is 6. Less than 6, it means 5, because we will step until index 5. We'll take it. I plus plus, go one by one. Okay, we will check them. We create the variable called candidate experience, which is equal experience I. List name and I, which will be updated in each iteration, starting from 0 until 5. One by one will be stored here. After we store each one of them, we are going to check if the candidate experience for that person is less than 5 years. Then begin continue. Continue, it means go to the next iteration, which is I will become 2. To skip that person, because the person has less than 5 years of experience, it means we will not print this one for him. Call candidate I, or for example, candidate 0 for the interview. 5, for example, is it less than 5? No, it is not less. The condition is false. So if it's not going to work, the print is going to be work, which is outside of if. Call candidate 0, like it's 0 now, for the interview will be called. The second one, 1. 1, is it less than 5? Yes, it's less than 5. So it's true. So continue, go to the second iteration. 1 will become 2 now. 2, which is 9. 9 less than 5? No, it's false. So this person is going to be called for the interview. We will call him because he has more than 5 years. And so on. It will continue like this. Printing indexes for each one of them, which should be called for the interview. So now we have like 0, index 0, and 2, and 3, and 5. 0, 2, 3. Sorry, 5 should not be called. It's 4, less than 5. So it will ignore it. Sorry about this. I thought it's like 9. Okay. So those people are going to be called for the interview. This is simple program, but it's important to be used. For an exercise, you can, for example, make it less than, okay, I want to, for example, only to find as an exercise, also to exempt those who have 5 years. Let us say I don't want to call those who have 5 years of experience for the interview. We only need 6 and more. Just make it as an exercise by keeping this number as the same at 5. Just update using like the operator, try to solve it. That operators. The switch case is our last example, which is like conditional statements similar to if else. It has different case clauses or statements specified by the case keyword, which are similar to condition like an if else statement. Switch take expression, and that case clause, which is like equivalent to the expression which will be executed. Switch differs from if else in the fact that if a statement can only return true or false, and can only define as such way. Case clauses, on the other hand, are not restricted to Boolean values, integers, string, compile time constant. However, make sure that the case clauses have the same type as the expression. So switch statements in that are intended to limited circumstances, such as an interpreter or scanner could be used. Syntax of switch case is as follows: switch, then expression, begin, case can, for example, case DOM until default. If all of them are not matching with the expression, default will be executed. So case close 1, case close 2. Then after that, semicolon, you have the conditional code for the case, then a break and semicolon to finish this case, and we go to the case 2. We write the case close 2, whichever like expression that you have or variable or value, the conditional code, and for that case and the break until you finish all the cases, you write the default colon and the default code and semicolon, that's it. So the break statement here is optional for you to be used because there is nothing else to be executed. The break should stop after default is working. So the expression will be compared with the case clause using an equal, like an equal operator. When the case clause is found, the conditional code for the particular case is executed, and the break statement breaks from the switch statement, as only one case could be executed. If none of the cases are equal to the expression, the default clause will be executed as I mentioned earlier. Let us take this example and see what will be the result. It's worthy to mention that this one, switch is working with case sensitive, so if you make it small letter, this, for example, it will not find the capital letters or vice versa. So Control V. Then we have the other codes on the next slide. We have to take them, the other part. Okay. So this is the test and code. Reformat code with that format. It becomes now much better, as you can see. Now, the main statement, okay, this is the main function, and this is var command equal open. The command will be used as expression or for the switch statement. So the value of open, let us say now the input here is open. So the open could be found in this case. This is the case which is the open case. It will only print the open and the break. That's it. All right. So if we run it, we have to get this statement. It will print the open and it will break to not execute other cases. Okay, done. It's open. But if we make it, look at it, be careful. If we make it small letter, this is important for your exam. It will not find a match. There is no open with small letters, which will just for the switch to go to the default. It cannot find something different. It will just tell command and none because we are using small letters here. For example, if you write here close the input, you will get the close, which will print close, and so on. So this is how it works. Switch statement. Okay, let's skip the challenge because we already solved this one on the lab. Assertion. The assertion here, an incredibly useful statement that allow you to put conditions on code execution. It's used to disrupt or to stop normal execution when the Boolean condition is false. So assert, that's how it works. Syntax, assert, then you give it condition, and you can give optional message if you like. If the condition is false, to assert condition is false to show that message. Or you can just ignore the message. So if the condition is false, it will stop executing the codes after the set statements. If it's true, the condition, it will just go and execute the next lines to it. Let us test it if it's working or not on IntelliJ to see. Copy this one. So we said assert if the condition here is false, it will stop running the program, and that's it. If the condition is false, it will executing the other code line. Of course, will be executed after assert. In this case, variable not equal to null. Okay, the program will it has var variable. We didn't assign any value, which will it means it will print null for this value. Print variable null will be printed. Then assert, it means like check if this variable has this null or not. So if the condition is true, it will continue running the program. If it's false, it will stop. Variable not equal to null. Variable not equal to null is false because variable is null. We didn't give it any value. So as long as the condition here is false, it will stop running this one. It will not make the variable equal value and it printed 5. Not will be printed. Let us test it. Okay, code reformatted. Run it. If it works, if assert is supported on IntelliJ, only should be print the variable, this one.